Little Lee Jun-fan finds himself in a strange place with many stone statues around. He is scared, and suddenly one of the statues comes to life. It is a stone warrior. It attacks the boy, and at that moment his father, Lee Hoi-chuen, wakes up. His firstborn son died in childbirth. He was taken by a demon, and now he dreams that the same demon has begun to hunt for his second son. Hoi-chuen goes to check on the boy, and the latter is asleep, unaware of his father's nightmare. In the morning, the man takes his son to Ip Man to teach him martial arts. This way, Jun-fan can stand up for himself and defend himself against the demon. Ip Man taught the boy to fight not only external enemies, but also internal ones. He wanted Jun-fan to be trained to fight his fears. The boy grew up to be a skilled martial artist. He had the opportunity to prove himself at the Chinese Lantern Festival in 1961. That night, Europeans came to the festival and began to behave badly with the local girls. Jun-fan stood up for them and showed the round-eyed men what he could do. He tore the big guys apart and humiliated their leader. Someone called the police because of the fight and Jun-fan had to run away. The cops visited his house too. Hoi-chuen was worried about his son, so he suggested that he go to America. Jun-fan was born in San Francisco and was given the American name Bruce Lee at birth. Jun-fan was named to hide him from the demon, but he did find him, and now he is sure to kill him. Hoi-chuen gives his son all his savings and sends him to the United States. On the ship, Bruce meets a history teacher who explains that the Chinese in America are third-rate people. However, young Bruce is sure that things will be different for him. Despite his confidence, in 1962 he could only get a job as a dishwasher. Even the local Chinese did not like him. The chef, who was hitting on a waitress named April, noticed that the girl had her eye on Bruce and began to pester him. Outside the restaurant kitchen, Bruce saw the respectable life of white Americans and wanted to be one of them. He read a lot and practiced kung fu. From time to time, he dated April, and when the cook found out about it, he attacked him and a fight ensued. All the kitchen staff came out against Bruce, but he overpowered them. When the landlady found out what had happened, she fired Bruce. She didn't want conflicts at work. However, she treated him well, so she gave him money and advised him to spend it on his studies. Otherwise, he would remain a dishwasher for the rest of his life. Bruce took her advice. He enrolled in the philosophy department at the University of Washington. When he worked out in the gym, he was accosted by local athletes. They tried to kick him off the machines, but Bruce wouldn't leave. Then the biggest of them offered to settle the matter on his fists. Bruce easily defeated him and his friends. The boys caught up with him and asked to teach him martial arts. He agreed. At first, a few kids came to the lessons, and then Linda showed up. She wanted to learn too, and she was good at it. During sparring, Linda felled her teacher and let him know that she liked him. Without thinking long, Bruce set her up on a date. As she left the house, Linda said she went bowling. Her mother would not approve of an affair with an Asian man, so she had to deceive her. And you can't blame Linda's mother, because there was a prejudice against Asians in American society. At the restaurant where Bruce had reserved a table, they were made to wait a long time, whereas white customers were allowed in at once. Bruce decided it would be better if they dined at a Chinese restaurant, and he and Linda left. On their next date, they went to the movies to see Breakfast at Tiffany's. There, Asians were shown cartoonishly, so that American audiences could have a good laugh at these funny short people from the East. Lee did not like it, and Linda suggested to leave. After some time, on the advice of his girlfriend, Bruce decided to open his own martial arts school. At the same time, he was ready to teach everyone, not just Asians, as his relatives. One night, a demon came to him. Bruce could not cope with it, and a minute later he realized that it was all his imagination. But it wasn't just the mythical warrior that bothered him. Linda still hadn't told her mother about their relationship, and that bothered Bruce. He insisted that she bring him to her house, and the girl's mother was not thrilled about her daughter's new suitor. She made it clear that even if Bruce became a citizen of the United States, he would never be an American. Lee became angry and left, and Linda ran after, despite her mother's prohibition. After a while, they got married, and not to start family life in debt, Bruce gave the money to his former boss, which she gave him for his studies. In 1964, the Lee family settled in California. Bruce opened his own school there as well. Jerome Sprout was the first to come to him. He was turned down by all the Chinese masters he approached, but Bruce took him. Word spread quickly that Lee was taking everyone as an apprentice, and his school began to flourish. An elder of the Chinese dynasty learns of this. He demands that Bruce stop teaching, but Bruce stands his ground. He says he wants to promote Chinese culture in the West. Then the elder suggests that he settle the matter in a duel. Leaving for the fight, Bruce told Linda nothing. He took Jerome with him. He was to fight the real killer, Johnny Sun. He brought his brother Luke with him. Johnny was strong, but Bruce defeated him and forced him to surrender. When he turned away and went to the exit, Johnny stabbed him in the back, which left Lee in a hospital bed. The doctors said he would never walk again. Bruce believed them and decided he would stay that way for the rest of his life. But Linda made him believe in himself. Besides, he had something to fight for, because Linda was expecting a baby, and to give Bruce something to do while he regained physical fitness. Linda suggested that he write a book about martial arts. All this helped Bruce recover faster, and when Linda gave birth to their firstborn, Brandon, Bruce was already able to hold him in his arms. 2 pieces of news awaited the Lee family when they returned home. Bruce's book was published, and Linda's mother came to visit. When she heard about her grandson, she decided to make peace with her daughter. Linda was not eager to go along, but Bruce welcomed his mother-in-law. During Ed Parker's first international karate convention, Bruce talked about his vision of martial arts. He suggested getting rid of the pictorial poses adopted by traditional schools. When asked to prove his point, Bruce agreed to defeat any opponent in a minute. Against him came Johnny Sun. Doctors forbade Bruce to fight, but he was in great shape and defeated Sun. With a powerful punch, he sent him out of the ring. This fight was seen by producer Bill Krieger. He was looking for an Asian man to play Kato in the Green Hornet series. Lee agreed to audition, and he was taken. However, Krieger's assistants insisted that Bruce somehow disguised, because in the opinion of the public, he was too Asian for such a series. Together with Krieger, Lee came up with the idea of a new show about Kung Fu, but to star in it, Bruce did not have a chance. When the Green Hornet shut down, Krieger took a white actor in the lead role. Bruce found out about the series being shut down at a producer's party. There, Linda also announced that she was expecting her second child, but that the new series came out with a different actor. He learned from the TV when the show was on. The Lee family had to pay the bills, and a lucrative role went to someone else. Added to this was a new misfortune. Bruce's father died. He went to his homeland to bury him. After the funeral, he visited his old teacher, who told him that Lee would have to fight the demon. It was inevitable if he wanted to protect the children. As Bruce was leaving for home, a Chinese producer, Philip Tan, caught up with him. Back home, Lee became a celebrity for that role in the Green Hornet. Tan offers him to star in a movie, and Lee agrees. When the last day of shooting the movie, The Big Boss, Johnny Sun's brother Luke came to the set. After their fight, Johnny was left crippled, and Luke came to get revenge. The director didn't know it was a real fight, so he filmed the whole thing. Bruce beats Luke and leaves him lying in a muddy puddle. Bruce's family comes to visit. He and Linda go to the premiere of The Big Boss, and the audience sits in complete silence at the end of the show. Lee tries to leave the cinema to avoid embarrassment, but then they start applauding him. The crowd picks him up in their arms and carries him away. It was a triumph, and Bruce started making other films. He helped with the script and fight scenes and participated in the editing. Because of this, he had no time left for his family. One day, Bill Krieger comes to him and offers to star in the movie Enter the Dragon. This is a major Hollywood project and a ticket to the United States for Bruce. Filming will take place in China. Lee is willing to participate in the project, but Linda doesn't want to live alone anymore. She needs a husband and her children need a father. She intends to return to the States, but Bruce doesn't want to turn into one of the ordinary Asians again, if only to return, then in the form of a movie star. On the 32nd day of filming Enter the Dragon, Bruce has a vision. He sees the demon again and fights him, but this time the demon shows him a tombstone with his date of death on it. Then Brandon appears, and the demon wants to take him too. Bruce, however, stands up for his son, killing the mythical warrior. When he wakes up, he leaves the set and goes home to see his children. They are the most precious thing in his life, and he won't let the demon get to them. Bruce and Linda reconcile. She escorts her spouse to the set, where he has to play in another scene. Before he leaves, Bruce confesses that he loves her. This is the first time he says these words. Soon after, 3 weeks before the premiere of Enter the Dragon, Bruce fell into a coma and died at the age of 32 years. The film brought him the worldwide fame and recognition he had longed for. In Hong Kong, at the funeral of Bruce, came more than 25,000 people. However, Linda insisted that the body was buried in the United States. That way, he would always be by her side. And that's where the movie ends. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to watch more movie recaps videos like this.